Good morning, everyone. Come on, I got to get that feedback. Wake up, I'm the last speaker. Good morning. Thank you, Janice, for that kind introduction. And I am thrilled to lock arms with you again, once more. You were there from day one when we signed that emergency declaration saying that in Los Angeles City and County, homelessness is the #1 problem, and we will continue to lock arms as I serve as the chair of the Board of Metro. And taking the reins from the veteran as the newbie, being here for 7 months to take over the chair is an awesome responsibility. And so I look forward to serving with you, Chair Najarian, and learning from you. It was amazing to watch the video for all that you accomplished in your tenure, but not just your tenure as chair, your many years for serving on the board. And so I want to thank you, and I also want to acknowledge your family who is here today. My fellow board members, fellow leaders of LA County, cities, and to everyone gathered here today in support of Los Angeles Transit. We are so fortunate to have the leadership that we do in Stephanie Wiggins, all that you have accomplished and all I know that you will continue to accomplish is just amazing, and we need to give both of them another round of applause. So here we are in Union Station, the last of the great railway stations built in the United States, and today a critical hub for the nation's most forward-looking transit system. As the new chair of Metro, it is my responsibility to lay out the state of the agency. And for me, this means laying out a vision for my term as the chair. So first, I want to make it clear that I am committed to joining forces with all 88 cities and the unincorporated areas of our county. We must remember our strength. LA County is the largest county in the nation. So just think about that for a minute. The population in our county is larger than 40 states. That's pretty awesome. We must use our collective power to continue building the best public transit system in the nation. Now, as a state, we send more of our tax dollars to Washington than we receive back. And you should know, as a former member of Congress from California, we always complained about this. But just think, if we join forces with the 19 members of our congressional delegation, now we have the largest regional delegation in the United States. So our regional delegation is larger than the delegation of 47 other states, our regional delegation. So that means that if we join forces, we can bring back those tax dollars and deliver more federal resources to our region. The same is true for our state delegation. We have the largest delegation of any county in California. So there's 120 state representatives in Sacramento. 40 of them are from LA County. When we join forces with all of our state representatives, we will bring back more resources to LA and ensure that we, because this is an issue now, Los Angeles is in charge of our own transportation system. We don't think people from other cities should be in charge of what we do here. Am I right? So this is the way we'll make sure that our residents, the millions of people who visit every year, and everyone whose eyes will be on LA during the World Cup, the Olympics, and the Paralympic Games. We want to make sure that everyone enjoys nothing less than a world-class transit system. Here in what used to be known, I want to say in the future, used to be known as the car capital of the nation. So today, Metro operates the nation's second largest transit system with an annual ridership of 270 million. To the hardworking Angelenos who are building and maintaining the systems, and to the Metro employees who make it happen every day, we need to give them a round of applause again. Thank you for your work. Metro is leading the nation's largest local infrastructure program, in large part because of public support that was expressed through Measure R and Measure M. Metro is putting thousands of people to work, building an integrated transit network system, including our Crenshaw LAX Line, the Purple Line extension to Westwood, a project that earned a personal visit from President Biden. I was honored to visit the project with the President and Supervisor and Metro Board Member Hilda Solis. And let me just welcome our newest board member, Lindsay Horvath. Thank you. We have laid all of the track for the Foothill Extension to Pomona, and along with local residents, we are exploring how best to connect. Remember I said along with residents. We are exploring how best to connect the valley and the west side along the Sepulveda Pass. So we finally have an alternative to our famous 405 freeway. I was honored to be there to help open our new regional connector, a marvel that makes it so you can ride from Azusa to Long Beach, East LA to Santa Monica, all in the same seat, not have to transfer. And as a testament to the engineering, Angelinos attending a concert at Disney Hall right next to the station won't hear a thing. And the LAX connector is on track to open next year, and it's about time. We've been waiting for that for years. We are building the future of Los Angeles, and we are doing it in the new ways. We are joining forces with the federal government like never before, with a commitment of more than $900 million to deliver the East San Fernando Valley Light Rail project. We are making sure that projects are designed to protect or expand housing. And we're making sure that good-paying jobs with benefits on Metro construction sites are going to people right from the neighborhoods that need those good-paying jobs, something that I was proud to work on as a former member of Congress. We're also making sure that the businesses in our communities aren't harmed during construction, but instead are helped in the process. Thank you, board member DuPont Walker. That was one of your efforts for many, many years. Now, as chair, I will make sure that we maximize the local benefits of every dollar we spend on Metro construction. And I hope the union members, Sergio, and Metro contractors in the audience hear that loud and clear. Now the question before us, though, is if we build it, will they come? Today, hundreds of thousands of Southern Californians depend on Metro to go to work, to go to school, to their doctor's appointments, because Metro is truly an essential service. But for Los Angeles to thrive, in fact, for Los Angeles to survive, in the future, Metro cannot be mostly a system of last resort. It must be a system of first choice. We need more Southern Californians to view and use Metro as their first choice for transportation. The number of people who choose to go to Metro will help determine the health of the air we breathe and the amount of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. It will determine the level of gridlock we experience in our daily commutes. And it will determine the ability of people to afford a place to live that's accessible to a job that can pay the bills. This is the monumental impact of the work Metro does and that we must all do together. Ridership today is up 16% to nearly 900,000 boardings every weekday, proof of the recovery, but still that is nowhere near where we need to be for the Los Angeles of today and certainly the future. We must acknowledge that ridership is still down, and the reduction is disproportionately amongst women riders who report that they do not feel safe. And we must address the increase in human suffering that we have seen on our public transit system, like many other cities are also facing. Homelessness, as you know, is my top priority, and this is an issue of life and death. Almost 50 people have died on the Metro system just this year. So we are increasing our homeless outreach teams by 50%. This year we will have 24 teams, dedicated Metro teams, working in partnership with community-based organizations to develop homeless navigation hubs and conducting the sustained outreach needed to move people off the stations, trains, and buses and into stable housing. And we're going to take full advantage of the surplus and underutilized land to jumpstart Metro's joint development program, to increase Metro's production of housing units tenfold so that we reach the 10,000 units of housing by 2031 that Supervisor Hahn described, half of which will be income restricted. At the same time, we must make sure riders and Metro employees alike both feel safe and actually are safe on our system. So to keep everyone safe, we have deployed the hundreds of ambassadors who serve as eyes and ears, and I just want to acknowledge you once again for your work. Thank you so much. Now, we all know that too many of the safety issues that we are having are really mental health or substance abuse related, which is why our safety strategy must address those underlying issues. We know that drug addiction fuels so much of the discord and crime on our system, and we are making sure that we are both conducting enforcement and getting people the services and treatment that they need, depending on what is best for that individual. But we also must listen more to riders. In response to feedback, we are deploying more officers across the B and D subway lines, that's the red and purple lines, and the bus routes with the most assaults to prevent crime and improve response times. But we must push even further, and we must also tailor our public safety strategy to this moment, to the Metro system, and to the community that it serves. That is why previous chair, another accomplishment of Chair Najarian, led a motion to explore replacing the current status quo of contracting with outside law enforcement agencies, in fact, there are 3 outside agencies, to an in-house Metro Community Safety Department. We have an opportunity to create a department that from its inception is integrated with a holistic approach, one that ensures that we respond urgently to crime, but that we prevent crime and deliver the necessary outreach and services. Most importantly, the Metro system must work for people so that it has to go where people need to go and where they want to go. It must be reliable, it must be convenient, and it must be fast. And that starts with how long the wait is between the next train or bus. So starting in September, the B and D lines, the red and purple line subways, will run every 10 minutes. By the end of the year, our light rail lines will run every 8 minutes during peak hours and 10 minutes off-peak. Our recently completed bus lanes on Venice Boulevard and the under-construction bus lanes on La Brea are just 2 examples of how we are accelerating our bus service for riders. The health of our air, the length of our commutes, the gridlock we face, our access to affordable housing and good jobs, it all depends on how we build out the system, how we operate the system, how we keep the system safe, and how we return its spaces to its actual intended uses for transportation. We are building up one of the world's great metros. And if we do it right, if we run it right, the people will come and they will enjoy world-class service befitting of our world-class region. Thank you.
Mayor Bass, and to the extent that the first vice chair will be assisting you in the duties, I hereby pass on to you the Metro Board of Directors Chairmanship gavel.